So, when I went to gather clips from my anime collection for a couple essays, I kept coming across this. Is that Die Buster? No. The Girl Who Leapt Through Space, otherwise known as Sora Kakeru Shoujo in Japanese, or under its shorthand title, Sora Kake Girl, is a sci-fi show about a girl traveling through space, piloting a giant robot to combat evil intelligence hell-bent on humanity's destruction, while determining the identity of the girl who leapt through space. Cool plot premise, right? Real quickly, if you look closely at these DVDs, you'll notice that for some reason they changed from the English title to the shorthand title after the first volume. What's up with that? Oh, also Volume 1 is open while 2 through 4 are not. Let me explain. When I was beginning my journey into the anime fandom in 2007 to 2009, I watched anime that looked interesting to me. The medium seemed vastly different from the cartoons I grew up with, so I wanted to expand my horizons. When Sora Kake Girl started airing in 2009, I watched it as it premiered in Japan. The art was vibrant, the story was hard to follow, yet easy to digest, the space fights were stellar, and the music was banging. Sadly, I was a sprouting anime fan and I didn't know the context or history of the series. I was so pure and innocent back then. Then Bandai Visual licensed the series in 2011 for America and announced it was shutting down a year later. They would stop producing all media they possessed and the rights reverted back to their owners, only to be picked up by other companies. I'm not saying Sora Kake Girl killed Bandai Visual, but they did say they did market research and closed down shortly after releasing it, so correlations are fun. Anywho, during this time, they had a sale to get rid of whatever discs they had left in their warehouses. Unsure if other companies would license them, I bought them along with other titles just to be safe. When I got them, it was in 2013, so it had been nearly 5 years since I last saw the series. I opened the first volume and popped it in to revisit the olden days. I've never regretted my decision more. You see, I was about 14 when I first watched the series. When I purchased the DVDs, I was now an adult, so I had some life experience to help me further understand the series. The first episode seemed fine, but then I watched the second episode, where it became abundantly clear that the series was about... Here, let me show you a scene and describe what's going on to see if you can get it. So, Akiha Shishido is the protagonist and is the self-titular girl who left through space. She winds up on a space colony controlled by an AI called Leopard and needs to help him rejuvenate. He requires golden orbs as his power source, and Akiha goes to retrieve them. She encounters a life form after retrieving the golden orbs and rushes off to deliver it to Leopard. She installs them, which looks like this, and then he performs his soul shout with his big, long, black, strong cannon to destroy the life form, using Akiha as a catalyst, where white powder falls from the sky as residue from the energy usage of the shout. Leopard is literally relieved while Akiha collapses in this position from being worn out. Do you get it yet? That's right! It's about sex. It was about sex. Let me provide the context. The golden orbs, although said in English, are called Kintama in Japanese, and Kintama also means this, which explains why they look like this when attached to Leopard. The colony's cannon for Leopard's soul shout appears phallic in nature, and this is intentional as I'll share the interviews from the staff later, but they can confirm it. Then after firing the cannon, he climaxes where he spews white stuff onto the colony. He is sexually relieved while Akiha, the one who performed the act with him, is, tired from a long night of hard work. Yeah, that's it. And don't think this is the only instance of these illusions of sex. At the end of episode 3, he tells Ima-chan, Akiha's Navimon, to fetch him tea and she explodes. It should be noted that the characters refer to Navimon as eggs and potatoes. Do I really need to draw the parallels here? It's a period joke. Don't worry, there's more, such as various jokes and innuendos with the names of the characters and devices, such as the QT arms. Then, if Leopard represents the penis, that must mean the antagonist, Nerval, represents... That should be self-explanatory. And it's because of this that I did not proceed with the other volumes, and they remain unopened to this day because I was shocked at how many allusions to sex there are. When I was a teenager, I didn't draw the connections and thought of it as an okay sci-fi show. I mean, it can't be that I have a dirty mind, right? Surely, other viewers must have noticed these metaphors as well. I know. I'll Google Sora Kake Girl sex allegory to see if others think the same like me. I was hoping for intelligent discussions. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. I didn't want to be exposed to further sexual imagery. The bad thing is, I did it without thinking and didn't turn on incognito mode. If I wasn't on a list already, I sure as hell am now. I don't know how to explain myself to the FBI agent who overlooks my file. Sora Kake Girl sexology? What kind of shit are you into, girl? It was an accident, I swear. Just don't kink shame me, alright? Besides being exposed to a bunch of hentai, I did find that TV tropes noticed the sexual undertones in the series as well. Oh, thank God I'm not alone. I was starting to think I was a sex addict. Besides TV tropes, there were some discussions on forums briefly mentioning this, but not too explicit to talk about the suggestive themes. The problem is that these are from English-speaking people. What about the Japanese? You know, the target demographic. What did they think? I thought typing in English was bad, but oh boy, the Japanese are unfiltered. Oh well. Thankfully, I have a backup, because the official site has interviews with the staff and cast. And oh boy, do they not disappoint. I'll share some highlights with you right now. First, an interview with Sunrise mecha designer Hiroyuki Taiga and set designer Tomoyuki Aoki discussed their design influences on the robots and backgrounds of the series. At one point, when sharing about the Leopard colony, Aoki has this gem from director Masakazu Obara in reference to the interior. That's a good curve. Then, when they change to the infamous Golden Orb room, they claim it as a masterpiece, and Aoki was looking forward to the floating white stuff to appear in the room. At the end of the interview, they're asked about secrets in the series. Apparently, the I'm sorry was Taiga's own handwriting and scanned in to appear in episode 3. It doesn't relate to the sex scenes, but I thought it was nice to share. Then here's a lovely comment from Mitsuhiro Ichiki, who voiced, well, my anime list labels it as Yubiton, while the English subtitles say it is Yupiton, but the official website says it is Jupitern. I'll go with Yupiton for now. Mitsuhiro says he was shocked at voicing the character and asked, "What kind of shape is this?" The next interview is with the mecha designer from Studio Nue, Kazuki Miyotake, who helped design the outside of the Leopard colony. The most important thing to note is that he wanted to make the design absurd because he was informed Sora Kake was a Baka Sci-Fi series. Baka Sci-Fi? Stupid Sci-Fi? Is that even a thing? You know, that makes a whole lot more sense now. Anyway, how would you make Leopard even stupider? Put the golden orbs on the outside? That works. Next is an interview with animation director and co-character designer Yosuke Kabushima. He designed the characters in ways to bring out their character, whatever that means. Then he mentions how he got onto the project after working on the Idolmaster Xenoglossia, and the series title was different apparently. He asked, "Can we even get this to air on TV?" Plus he had this amazing idea. What if the mecha came together? He drew a concept for it, and now Take Furusato, the producer of the series, got extremely furious and shredded it. We can only imagine what the hell he drew. Finally, the last interview is with the aforementioned producer. He explains the updated title was inspired by the girl who left through time. The girls in the series are supposed to be making their own choices like the protagonist in the novel. Another inspiration was Mobile Suit Gundam, which also had space colonies. This would be a huge component to his work and Sora Kake Girl overall. Many of the robots and colonies share some designs with the Gundams, so it shouldn't be a surprise. It doesn't stop there though, as many nods and references to other mecha anime lie in wait. From Gundam to Macross to Writing, the series prides itself with the references. Here, let's run through some now. Gundam, Macross, Code Geass, Writing, Gunbuster. I fucking knew it! It's not even the same. Oh, they're gone now. Coincidentally, Gunbuster got its title of Top wo Nerare from the tennis anime Ace wo Nerare, and Studio Gainax worked from there, similar to how Sora Kake Girl got its title with The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Plus, the openings contain some shot-to-shot comparisons with Gundam Seed. I don't know if it was intentional, but it may be a common trait with other mecha anime. Speaking of the opening, I love it, and it's a goddamn banger. But when you look at the lyrics, it makes the sexual references even more apparent. Here, let me read you the lyrics. It feels like my body has become a spaceship that climbs into the atmosphere of thought, only to burn out. Say, can you give me a course correction with your rocket? We need to link up and double check each other. I'm not crying because I had to read this garbage. It's because it's so beautiful. From a personal standpoint anyway. I've never felt so conflicted since I learned that C'est La Vie by Bewitched was actually about a sexually aggressive girl virgin shaming a boy into having sex with her. It just tarnished the image of the series for me, corrupting my innocence and exposing me to this indecency. Such is life. It is ruined. Actually, now that I think about it, the series didn't make me lose my innocence. There are plenty of series of innuendos that go over people's heads, especially for those targeted at a younger age. Rocko's Modern Life, Dexter's Laboratory, SpongeBob SquarePants, they all have euphemisms and innuendos in them that will fly over children's heads. I guess Sora Kake Girl didn't corrupt my innocence, but I just grew up. I learned more about the world and the human body, and became aware of all the nuances in the show. Yet I still felt weird seeing all that stuff that I didn't proceed any further with the volumes. Maybe it was my upbringing in a Catholic school that actually corrupted me. Anyway, even though this sex-riddled title exists, I have to admit the staff put a lot of work into it. They researched and planned the series well to get things right, and made many allusions to the series they took inspiration from. And even if the story is hard to follow, it does examine the concept of our identity. Do we become who others want us to be, or do we forge the path ourselves? The staff thought they were working on a masterpiece. Thus, they left the ending up in the air of who actually the girl who left through space is for a chance at a second season. Sadly, they didn't get that chance, but if you have the last volume, they include a special ending of the plans for the second season, which is a nice touch. It's a shame no one will see it, as no company has released it since Bandai Visual went under. Apparently, Sentai Filmworks rescued it in 2013, but it is nowhere to be found. Not re-released on DVD, not on their high-day service, or even Crunchyroll. So, I just have one question. Why are you holding on to this masterpiece? Their words, not mine. I mean, if it is a masterpiece, people should have access to it immediately so they can judge it for themselves. I hope they didn't lose the license after several years of no discussion of it. I can't possibly be the only one who remembers the series. It left a profound impact on me. It spoke to me in a way most series haven't. It's art. It's art. It's art. It's art. It's art. It was trying to send a message. The fact that it is practically a love letter to mecha series is trying to say all mecha series are about sex. Humans pilot giant robots as a manifestation of their bodies. They cling to one another and beat each other. Macross is a space opera love triangle about them making love. Aquarian Evil uses the power of love to fuel the mecha, and that explains why Gundams have large bulges. They're actually big, long, white, strong cockpits. It all makes sense now. I have to tell everyone. Well, apparently I've been placed on home arrest and under the careful watch of prison guard Ruby over here for the crime of self-appointed lunacy and the endangerment to the Society of Giant Robots. Don't worry, this video is photographic evidence of my records. I'll go out like Galileo and prove the world right with my theories. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could, I would really appreciate if you liked, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, especially if you enjoyed this type of video. This video will be going up on September 12th, which should be my 10-year anniversary of my main YouTube account, so hopefully this is a bit celebratory. I've been trying to make this work for 10 years, so hopefully we can continue doing that. If you want to support me further, you can follow me on Twitter at Shedge3, or you can follow me on Twitch for Shedge. This will all be down in the description below. Finally, if you want more type of content, you can watch my last made video on Iris Online and how it died. Or if you want a more similar style comical video, you can watch this video on how I discovered that Korea tried to ban the phrase Nico Nico Ni for being a right-wing dog whistle. Anyway, have a lovely day, and until next time, poof poof.